Welcome back, everybody, for another episode on the DFP channel. I am Ryan, and this is my co-host, Robert. Say hello, Robert.
Hello, Robert.
Wow. Quite an entrance there.
I've been working on that for a while.
Hey, you might need something.
I'll need that.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Next.
We're back with episode 3 of season 2. We're back at it again, and we've got a guest here that has been on this show before. Let's welcome Mr. Josh Lease. Welcome back, brother.
Well, thank you for having me back.
F&A, man.
Hopefully we can finish this one this time.
That's right. More power outages.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Or this
and we
evening.
didn't have any thunderstorms either.
Slow it down.
So,
Well, Willow's here too. Say hi, Willow.
Say hello, Willow.
She's like, I'm just. Hey. That's high for dogs.
all right.
So what's been new, brother, man?
Fuck, man, I've just been kind of laying low.
Yeah.
Somewhat, anyway. Like this winter, I been living by myself, and it was the first time I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And we had the biggest winter in
yeah.
50 years.
Yeah, I saw some of those videos, man. There was like a river running through your yard.
Oh yeah, it was a river going
Yeah.
into my front yard, man.
That was crazy.
And there was no plows, there was nothing coming out to my neighborhood, and I was like, and then I went and looked underneath the crawl space. I was like, I'm about to start fucking flooding, man. I was like,
shit.
I called my landlord. I was like, I'm about to just leave, and I don't know what to tell you, but
Right.
this house is gonna get fucked
Yeah,
up.
you should have just
Not much
bought.
I can do.
You should have just bought a bunch of river rats, dude, and just threw those under there, dude.
I did. We could have floated my whole
Just-
the whole road.
Just get some
Like
get
the
some
neighbors down
paddles,
the street.
man. You could-
Hey, I'll be back going to the kitchen.
I mean, dude, it was getting close
You
to
could have
that.
been Tom Sawyer, man.
Yeah, it could have been. So you got locked in by snow.
Got locked
this time.
in, and then I mean, we discussed it last time, and if you do know me, like snowboarding is my
Oh
shit.
yeah, I was gonna
so-
say, did you get some board? And, yeah,
Oh fuck, I'm like over 100 days so
Really?
far.
Wow.
Yeah, well into it.
Still going?
Yeah. And my body's healthy,
Really?
surprisingly. Every time I've been at like this mark at the end of a season, I'm beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I can't do this no more. I got to go back and do tree work so I can let my body heal.
Right, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is fucking weird if you think about
I
it.
know.
Right,
Yeah.
I gotta go
Nobody
do some
says
physical
that,
labor
right?
to get better.
Yeah.
I got to go climb trees and cut out big tops and shit.
Still throwing the backflips and stuff?
Yeah, I didn't do any this year, but last week I got a switchback one over
Really?
one of the jumps at Squaw, and
Nice.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Like a switchback
weird.
one is the fucking scariest trick on the
Yeah.
book in my book. I think it's scarier than trying to go for a double.
Really?
Yeah. It's so awkward. Like your body mechanics don't want to move that way,
Yeah.
where it's really easy to just fucking huck and pray.
Right, yeah.
Like that, you have to be really on top of your game, like
Yeah.
on a switchback one over a distance.
Oh, man.
Like there's no bobbling there.
There is no room for error either.
But at the same time, there's plenty of room
Right.
for error.
Valid, yeah. If you fall, it's going. There's
Oh, yeah.
lots
Catch
of
it. I just see catch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just spent a lot of this winter snowboarding. It was really, as opposed to doing tricks, I was hiking lines and writing shit that
Yeah,
you
that's-
got to earn it.
Yep.
And there was one day. This is a pretty good story. I brought my buddy Jesse out. We'd never really met before. Friends of friends, and we started to go hiking up this ridge, before we started hiking it, I was like, here, man, eat some mushrooms.
Perfect.
I was like, it's going to be a great day out here in the backcountry.
Little spice.
Have some of these. And then we get to this ridge after we developed our game plan of where we were going. And once we started getting up the ridge, it wasn't snow anymore. It looked like it was from a distance. It was just bulletproof fucking ice.
Oh.
And the winds
Oh,
were
the wind,
howling at like
yeah.
60 miles an hour. And I mean, dude, you were just everything you could to hold on to the side of this mountain.
fingertips.
And I didn't I started noticing that he was slowing down, but I was like, I'm still fucking going.
Right.
Yeah.
And as we're getting up this ridge, I start noticing fucking like prints in the snow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not a bear print. That's not a dog. It was a fucking cat.
It was
It was definitely a bobcat.
Oh, yeah.
Or the paw prints are like fucking this big.
Right.
If you look on my Instagram, there's an edit of. I mean, you'll see me if you find the right edit that I put up, but you'll see there's me hiking a ridge, and if you look, you can see the cat tracks that we're following up.
Oh shit.
And then we get to the like where we're like, all right, man, this isn't really working out so much in our favor to get all the way to the summit of this like mountain we were climbing. So I was like, let's just go to this rock pile and figure out what to do from there.
Yeah.
And we sat there, and the wind was howling. It was honestly quite miserable, and then I looked, and that's where the fucking cat tracks led. Was like right in this hole next to the rocks, and I started hearing shit inside the rock pile that was exposed. And I was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. I don't want to find out what's in there.
It's more the shrooms that are taking over the fear, or it's just fear.
And like, mind you, I still didn't really think a whole ton of it. Like I'd never, like I said, never met this kid before.
Right.
Once he got back, he was like, dude, when we were hiking that ridge, man, I was scared as shit. He's like, the mushrooms were kicking in.
Where are you taking
He's
me?
like, I wanted to turn around and go, but you were just still cruising. And I knew we were good. Like, if I would have slipped and fallen, sure, it would have been a long ride to the bottom, but there was nothing to hit. So I was like, fuck it. If I go down, it's just going to be a really long slide for 800 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do a first impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we got to the bottom. He was like, dude, I was scared as shit. And I was like, huh. I didn't think I wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about you.
I don't really turn that kind of stuff. Like, when I have my mindset on something, it's usually like, I'm going. This is what we're going to go get. And somehow that fear thing, especially this year, I've turned off a lot. There's a couple times it took into place because I went back. We hiked this same spot a couple times this year, and there's one chute right down the center of it, and I got to the top of it in February, and was standing there looking at it, and I was like, man, that's a fucking terrifying drop in.
Yeah.
And I actually declined it and walked back down because it wasn't sitting with me right that day.
Yeah.
Snow was still kind of loose and unsettled, and it was just kind of like, oh man, I got to go back and get this thing.
Yeah.
So May 7th, I got it.
Nice.
Fucking big gnarly backcountry line that not a whole lot of people get in the world. Like,
Hell yeah.
and that was like kind of my, I got a couple big lines this year, but that one, just because it takes a special winter, like there's only a handful of people in the world that have done that.
Right.
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
No shit.
And I'm pretty fired up on it.
Hell yeah.
Did you get video of it?
Oh yeah, I got video. I haven't.
You're
made
holding on to it,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm holding on to a couple of my bangers. I haven't dropped. I dropped the photo of the line that I did.
Yeah.
And you can tell which one's mine. It's a big, just S turn.
Yeah.
But it on the video when you see me go and make my turn or set up to go from my heel to toe side, the snow just disappears, and it felt like. If you've watched like powerboat racing, when air gets underneath the boat and it fucking lifts out.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude! I went to go initiate my toe side turn, and all of a sudden my board just fucking whee! I'm guessing I was in between the 70 and 80 mile an hour mark.
Damn.
And
Cooking.
I was like, "Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm going down."
Yeah.
You got something to say?
Tomahawk, dude.
Oh yeah, I did. I it was inevitable
Yeah.
that I was gonna start Tommying, but
Yeah.
I literally just like lifted up and then set it down and like made the turn.
Fuck yeah.
Well, I think it's funny how people kind of take it for granted just how dangerous that sport can be,
Especially
whether it's snowboarding
hiking.
or skiing.
Yeah.
Especially depending on like how extreme you're willing to take it.
Right.
Have you ever done the heli drops? Have you ever done that?
No, I've never done heliing. But this year I did cat skiing and stuff like that. I was supposed to go to Alaska, I think back in like 2012.
Yeah.
And ended up like doing some damage to my knee and wasn't quite in the shape to go to Alaska.
Okay.
And I mean, I could have went, but
Yeah, you don't
I
wanna risk
don't
that.
want to go ride mountains like that. Not for my first time. And
No.
I got a little like I wouldn't say scared, but I just wanted to be able to go and not be the weakest link. That's
Right.
when you have that group of people going out and doing rad shit, you don't want to be that person.
No, yeah.
You don't want to go out there timid.
Because then you're gonna have people sitting there just like, this motherfucker's wasting my money.
Come on,
And when people are
Right,
spending
right.
$5,000 a day for an all day long helicopter excursion,
Right.
Those things are not cheap, man.
no.
Fuck
Not at all.
But what I do know is it's worth it.
oh, that's
Like I haven't done it yet, but
I'm
I know it's
sure.
fucking worth it. I'm planning like that's my whole mindset into this summer is I want to go to Japan for a week or two this next winter coming up. But Alaska, I need to go spend some time at.
Yeah.
I bet that's magical up there.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we get a lot of really good terrain in Tahoe too, but
Yeah.
Alaska, you have like 6,000 vertical feet versus 1,200,
Right.
of just
Yeah.
straight down. That extra,
Yeah.
4,500 feet really, has a lot more pucker factor. I
Yeah.
know.
But when it comes to like the wintertime, like obviously living in South Lake Tahoe, you had, like you were saying, you had this almost damn near disaster that happened, right?
Oh yeah,
Because,
it 100%. It was.
I mean, we've had some bad snowstorms, but this was just one.
It was
after another
relentless,
after another
man.
after another.
Yeah, and the shitty part, going back to living by myself.
Yeah.
In December, we got hit with really wet, heavy stuff coming out of New Year, or like right out of New Year's. It's changed over. My snowblower fucking blew up.
Oh, of course.
So and that's right when shit started hitting the fan. So I had to hand shovel pretty much all year.
No shit.
And my shoulders are solid as shit right now.
Right, yeah.
They are.
Fucking jacked. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least it was exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting, and there was a couple times I was like, man, fuck, this is what I live for.
Yeah.
But
Right.
fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and I gave up at one point. I mean, I had 16 feet of snow, like on each side of my walkway walking into my house.
That's crazy.
And my house got buried, and Willow, come here. My house was buried.
Yeah.
Like my hot water heater went out,
Right.
and I couldn't get to it because the closet's on the back side of the house.
Oh shit.
And
outside.
the way the snow comes in, it just goes up and over the house and just kind of like eddy effects on the
Right.
backside. So I couldn't get back there. The snow was 20 feet deep and it wasn't packed. So
Was that the only major thing that happened? Was your water heater?
kind of. The weight from the snow definitely was putting pressure on the roof.
Yeah.
So the doors were getting really hard to open.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have hot water, which sucked for a couple days because instead of going around to the back, we decided it was easiest to go up and over and shovel our way back down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I found this little tiny hole about yay big, and that was the window into the back deck.
Oh shit.
And then we had to shovel all that stuff out.
Yeah.
It was I think it took 5 of us almost a full day to get up and over, and then we spent another day shoveling off the roof.
Fuck.
Now,
Just alleviating the weight and everything.
in retrospect, because I know it was all over the news and everything about Jeremy Renner and his incident that happened this winter too.
I still don't know a whole lot of that. All I know is he ran himself over with his own cat. Is that what the fuck
I thought
happened?
It was a plow. I heard it was a plow.
Yeah,
It
rolled
rolled-
over him. Like it was.
Yeah.
From my understanding, and I could be totally wrong on this, but the way I heard the story was he's out there using his cat, clearing his long driveway, and his nephew, I believe, was playing outside and all that, and kind of was almost in front of it. So he got out to kind of get him out of the way, and it kept rolling, and it went right over him. Like, I don't know if he didn't set the brake or whatever it was. It just went right and plowed his ass. But that's intense. Like, the story was he was saving his nephew from whatever was to happen to him. But he ended up getting in a return. Was there, like, a lot of, like,
That sounds like
talk around that? Like,
a good
snowplow safety, everybody!
No, it was more like, where the fuck are the plows?
Yeah, no shit.
Thankfully, I have a good Tahoe truck with 35-inch tires and a 6-inch lift on it. I was the only one in my neighborhood to really that had the vehicle that weighed enough to be able to push through the snow when the plows didn't come. But then all the snow was smashed underneath the undercarriage and iced up everything. So I was like, I'm not doing that no more. I'm staying here. Snowmobile was buried all fucking winter long. So I didn't even get to use my snowmobile. If I needed to go to the store or anything, which there was a lot of people doing that at one point. And then, we were in a state of emergency. They're not going to stop us. Willow, that's not yours.
Right, yeah.
I didn't bring that for you.
She's like, I want that koozie.
You just order.
She's like,
Uber
I need a
Eats.
beer, man. Fucking, I can't deal with your guys' shit. Hey,
Chew on it.
Yeah.
that's not yours. I brought that for them.
She's like, yeah, it is. It seems to be.
She's like, I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking
Hey,
about.
what are you laughing at?
But I know it was crazy because, like, I know we were trying to do shows with the boys at Condemned. We were trying to do shows, and we had that one in January to go down to Bishop, and we had to take the long way around into the back cities of Walker and Hawthorne.
Yeah.
It's
So
bad.
I actually went down to Willow. I rescued Willow on my birthday last year.
Yeah.
And just really fell in love with the Corso breed because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I had one beforehand, which I think we talk about that a little bit? The puppy that got hit.
Yeah, I
But
think we did.
That's the same thing. It's the
No
exact
shit, yeah.
same dog. It's a trip. Like Mark Moots
Oh,
did
no
that
shit,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's the same dog.
Yeah.
No shit.
If you look at it.
Yeah.
But so I rescued another one, and he definitely needed a lot more help than I can give him. And he ended up going to like a 9-week, aggressive dog behavior
Oh, okay.
seminar.
Right,
Dogs
right.
go to
Dog-
seminars,
dog school,
training.
whatever,
And he came back like completely different. Now he's like, who's this human in my house?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? But now he's cool with other dogs. When
Oh.
before he wasn't cool with other dogs, now like that's not an issue for him. It was kind of cool.
Huh.
But I had to go to pick him up in Southern California down in Lake Elsinore, and went down, picked him up, drove back to Ridgecrest, stayed the night, and was like, all right, I'm gonna go stop and hang out with the homies in Bishop.
Yeah.
And we got to Bishop, and I sat down with Jared Elbers and was like, having lunch with him, and was like, I'm gonna go up and ride Mammoth. He's like, you're gonna ride Mammoth and come back down, and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it's 395's closed in the Vining, bro.
Dunzo. Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That 3 hours and 15-minute drive turned into like 6.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
that was an interesting drive.
Oh, I bet.
But at the same time, driving, I like Smith Valley a lot.
yeah.
So driving through there, and I haven't been there in a minute, so it was kind of cool to go through Smith Valley.
Right.
And
Well, and you get to see terrain that you don't normally
Yeah.
see all the time, so that helps. But one of the things that you think about, like when something like that, especially with being so close to the Sierras that we are with Reno, it's like, when you want to put on like an event, a show, anything of that nature, and especially if you're trying to draw outside talent, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, we're screwed.
you're
it's-
battling the elements.
you
gotta
don't
be
you don't
nuanced.
know too until
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
And
And there's been times where, I mean, as long as I've been doing shows in Tahoe and Reno, there's numerous. I don't know how many, but I know there's been a couple where it's
Yeah.
like, yep, we're not making it over 80.
right.
And
yeah.
fuck, who was it? I was working a show. Fuck, I forgot what show it was that I was working, but 80 was closed. Oh, it was 311. So
Oh.
I was working doing stagehand stuff for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Or not U.S. Open, World Cup.
Oh,
It's Squaw.
okay. Yeah.
And 311 did a free show,
no
but
shit.
High 80 was closed. They completely shut it down. But 311, being celebrities that they are, I guess, got a fucking police escort up the hill. And
Of course it did.
That's
you know,
cool.
yeah,
Hey,
but
get
I
it when you
mean,
can.
but if Deicide was coming through, they wouldn't get it.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No.
They'd be like-
God forbid.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you guys, no.
no.
But 311's cool. We'll let you guys through.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I talked to my sister a couple weeks ago, and she told me a story that I'd never heard before. And her friend Christy from high school, they were good friends with Chris Payne from Rock
Okay.
4.5. And when they did,
He just
go,
got back on the air, didn't he? I was
think
listening.
so. I thought I heard
Oh,
that.
yeah. I thought for a while. Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
listen to the radio, but
Yeah.
I would like my truck doesn't necessarily turn on to my phone right away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You get a little
and
snippet.
it was, I don't know what it was, like 87.7 or something.
Uh-huh.
And it was the weirdest thing. Like 1 minute you're driving and it's like nothing but Spanish just going off, and
Yeah.
I like. But there was never any music. It was just some dude just yelling. I don't know
Probably
enough
soccer-
Spanish to
it's
really.
probably
Yeah,
soccer
it
channel.
sounded like
Channel.
soccer,
Yeah.
soccer
Yeah.
stuff. You couldn't really hear any crowd anyway. But then all of a sudden it would go from that to like full blown Jesus, like
I was gonna say you
Christian
get one of the-
channel,
yep.
and it would just go in and out. And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, I don't even know what to listen to. I was like 104.5.
Right.
So then I started hearing like, I heard Chris Payne talking, which it didn't. It's so weird how
Yeah.
radio like people change their voice for the
Right.
radio.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't think he goes heavier. I think he lightens
Yeah.
his voice up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just noticed that him being there was a lot cooler.
Yeah,
the
yeah, it
music
kinda
that was
brings
being
it back,
played was
yeah.
like, he's playing COC. I
Yeah,
mean, granted,
right.
last time I listened to that, like Saliva was like the coolest fucking
Yeah.
thing that they were playing, which usually is just like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn the radio
Yeah.
off. I
Right.
don't need to hear it.
Click, click, boom. yeah.
Right. but the point of it was they had it in with Chris Payne. They got to meet a lot of really cool bands that would come through, play at the old Del Mar station in Reno, and even like some shows at like the New Oasis and Sparks.
Yeah.
And,
I miss that place. All the asbestos falling off the
Yeah,
fucking
right, yeah.
ceiling.
And there was a show at Del Mar Station, and Seven Dust came through, and this was in the early days, like when their first album, or maybe even Home, when that came
Like
out.
when Waffle came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, right around that era. And they weren't like, they were getting big, like they were on that rise in that time period. It was like late 90s, and it was wintertime, right? So they came into Reno, they played at Del Mar, and then they were trying to drive over the hill to go to like Sacramento or something like that, and they got turned back around because they shut down the pass. And my sister was like, yeah, they called us because we swapped numbers. We were like, hey, we'll do promotion for you anytime you guys are in town again. We loved you guys and all that. And they're like, that's cool. And they call them, what's the guitar player?
I just know
Clint?
it's Leon's
Clint?
the
Yeah,
vocalist. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And Morgan Rose.
I think
the
it's
drummer.
Clint Lowry, or
Yeah, that sounds.
I think
That, sounds,
that
name sounds familiar.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But they called and they were like, hey, we got turned around. Is it cool? Do you guys have a spot where you can go? And they're like, you can come stay at our apartment. So Seven Dust stayed in her fucking apartment. And I was like, well, shit, yeah. I mean, and it's that like kind of hospitality they showed back, for bands like that. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm jealous. I wish I had known that. I would have fucking came over or something like that, found a way. But, the weather, especially in this town, can turn on a dime.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in that time period between like
October. I mean, even
October
September.
reality. Yeah.
September to May, you're gambling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just don't know, and some people are just like, fuck it, we're going.
Right.
Which-
Especially road driving, right?
Yeah.
When you're touring in a van or a bus, but like some of these like comedians or celebrities that come through and they take their jets in or their planes,
Right.
like they have a different avenue at least.
Yeah, they
right?
don't have to tour with a bunch of
Right, exactly.
gear and
Yeah.
personnel.
And
Like
if they do,
comedians
they
just
just ship
show up with a fucking 58.
I got my
and
mic.
They're like, I got my shit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They got their little computer bag and fucking they're
Got
good
my
for a
Jaeger,
fucking
my
weekend.
mic. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking met
I got my
Carrot Top
protein,
fucking
man.
snowboarding at Heavenly a long time ago.
Did you
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Before he got jacked, or like?
Oh, he was jacked as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was jacked as shit. And dude, his squad, looked like just a bunch of fucking bums, dude. Like
probably
they
picked him
looked
up
like
on the
they
way up
fucking
there.
partied hard. It kind of looked like he sponsored all of his homies. Like they were just like riding his
Sponsored by
coattails.
Crown Royal.
Yeah, and like
Shit.
I was riding the park and like I saw them riding and you knew it was
You're like
Carrot
Sean White.
Oh yeah.
No, this is back, but this is back when Sean White was still a kid. So
You're all okay. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a
because
big
I
age
was only
difference there.
19 and Sean's definitely
Yeah.
5-6 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you saw him rolling through, and then I went to the Fox and Hound on top of Kingsbury, and he was in there, and he turned around, he's like, "Dude, I saw you shredding. Like, you come here. Like, okay, like Carrot Top.
He's all,
what's up?" He's
Let me
like,
pull into my box.
he pulled me over and fucking just started. If my memory is correct, I remember leaving the mountain, going to the Fox and Hound, and then partying my ass off with those dudes and like staying up all night long. And I remember I ordered a fucking Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and at the time I had long hair down to about here.
Yeah.
Ordered a Philly cheesesteak with whiz on it, and I woke up. I came home. My house the heater was off. I was fucking freezing because I'd been gone all day.
Right.
And I woke up. I had one snowboard boot on, still in fucking my snowboard pants, shirt off, and my hair was just stuck to my face with like mushrooms, onions, and
Just
meat.
cheese.
Yeah. I went face down in that fucking to-go box of my Philly cheesesteak,
shit.
and everything was just stuck on the right side of my face. And my house was like 97 degrees, dude. It was fucking brutal.
Blazing.
I'm glad I don't do that no more,
Yeah.
but I'm also glad for those times because they
Yeah.
were great.
It's harder to do those now. Like,
Fuck, Sunday I'm a year no alcohol.
really?
Damn,
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Just
Good.
drugs for me these days.
Yeah. Hey.
And I found out.
Poison.
Yeah, well, I found out if you don't have alcohol, the drugs are a lot easier to, to
maintain
intermingle.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like by drugs, I don't think mushrooms are drugs, but if you eat a half ounce of them, it'll turn into a drug. But if you eat so I spent this whole well, I microdosed a lot this winter.
Yeah.
And I think I was at like my 34th season on a snowboard. So, and what I noticed is a couple years ago, I felt that like I hit a plateau and wasn't going to be able to get above the skill level that I was at. And then met up with a old surfer from Santa Cruz, a big wave surfer from Santa Cruz, and he was like, "Man, you want to eat this acid?" I'm like, I've never eaten acid and snowboard before.
Talk about an impulse
Sounds
buy.
like sounds like a great time. I mean, that's the best time to do it, right?
Right.
Fucking on those rainy days when someone's like, "Here, eat this."
Yeah.
And it was kind of a gloomy, snowy day, so it was, in my opinion, kind of the perfect time.
Might as well.
Ended up opening up a whole lot of doors to where just like carving, I started doing different things and
I'd be trying to look behind me. And
working the snowboard differently, and it really helped. So this year, going into the season, I bought I don't know, six or seven chocolate bars, and was just eating a couple pieces of chocolate at a time, which it was enough to where you forgot that you ate mushroom chocolates. And you're like, man, I'm having a really good. I forgot about that.
You get more of a body high off that, or
I would say it. I don't even notice the body high.
Oh, really?
What I did notice is how in tune I was. Instead of
your focus.
You skate, so you have to look at your line ahead of time and kind of pre-plan what you're doing.
Right.
So instead of looking at that next box or that next trick you're gonna do, it was I'm doing this, and this all in one.
Yeah.
So it really helped that to go deeper into that visual of what you're going for.
Right, which helps out a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have a hyper focus of almost to a point where you feel like time is slower, so you can think faster.
100%.
Yeah.
Or
I should try this.
Fucking
actually,
and it's true. And that's what I noticed. And sometimes it wasn't even the days that I ate them. Yeah. But I would say some days I'd go back to back. Mm-hmm. Some days I might wait a week or 2 weeks, but it was just kind of I'm gonna make today a good day.
Right. Yeah.
I want to feel like Bradley Cooper in Limitless right now.
Exactly.
I want to learn another language.
I didn't do that.
No.
When I first watched that movie, I was looking up where the fuck do I find these?
Yeah.
The clear pills.
I'm like, is this real? I gotta get me some of this. This is too cool.
I really want to learn new shit.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife, we've been talking a lot about, because there was a long period of time where it was we would have a nightcap before going to bed and stuff. And with my body, I know that I have acid reflux, so drinking before going to bed never fucking worked out.
No, it never does.
Never worked out. No matter how little of a glass it was, it always ended up being bad for me. And then in return, too, with me, I wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And I'm working early as fuck. So it's if I don't get to bed at a certain time, I'm fucked. So I struggled a lot with sleep. And just recently, me and my wife been doing the CBD. We get the pens and the vape deals.
Yeah.
And I forgot, because it was years that I stopped smoking weed. I was it's just,
Speaking of
I don't know, how that made me feel anymore. And then I was I don't trust it,
why'd you stop in the first place?
Well, I stopped in the first place because when I would smoke, I would just pass out.
Oh, okay.
And it was I could never
See,
enjoy
I don't
high.
understand that fucking thing.
I did that.
See, I smoke in the morning because this shit's my coffee. Well, there's my salsa today.
Right.
But But at night, I usually what I've been noticing the last couple years, I wake up and I'll just take fucking I'll turtle back a bowl on a bong hit and fucking take 3 or 4 of those in the morning before I leave the house.
Yeah, but it depends on the blend, though, right?
No. The only thing that really fucks me up is Granddaddy Purple.
Really?
You want to see me go into a coma?
Yeah,
Fucking give me that purple shit, and I'm gonna do it on myself.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. Indica, sativa. I really like OG, which is a sativa.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
That's
That's
an
more of the
upper.
THC levels are a lot higher.
Yeah, but this shit's hitting 30%. It still doesn't I don't even really feel stoned off it anymore.
Really?
Right.
But I guess it's
build
like
up a
but
tolerance,
if
though,
if
too.
I were to smoke a cigarette right now,
Oh, you'd have a buzz like a mother.
oh fuck! I took 2 hits a couple years ago off of it was like I was trashed on my birthday, and I was like, "Somebody give me a cigarette." Fuck my birthday, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Took a couple of hits and was like, "Dude, fuck this." Like,
So
I feel it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I just have a tolerance
Yep.
built up to where it doesn't. I mean, I notice a change in the morning,
Right.
but it's not like smoking a fucking
yeah.
Right. You're not passing out. or
No,
anything.
like I said, it wakes me up, and I like as the day ends, I don't smoke to go to bed. Like I usually
Right.
don't even smoke when I get home from work.
Right.
It's usually like I smoke going to work and at work.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. All day, the whole day.
But
then I'll
that's
stop after.
doing my line of work. Some people might think it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But climbing trees and being stoned is a fucking
No, but it probably makes you
Yeah,
like
dude, it keeps me
focus and
calm,
stuff.
yeah.
And
It,
like
like,
we were
and-
talking about with the mushrooms and stuff.
yeah, exactly. And same thing. Like I've been snowboarding since fucking '88.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think because I started snowboarding so early that, I had a lot of older friends. So that, in '88, I was 7 years old. So
Right.
I think I smoked pot the first time when I was like 10.
Jesus.
But smoking pot and snowboarding was just it. I could quit smoking weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not smoking pot and snowboarding
Right.
like that. I don't.
That's a sin.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me because
Yeah,
like that even going and hiking some of these lines I did this year and like putting myself in some like if I fuck up I'm dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I did this one cliff that was like it was like a hanging shelf over like an 80-foot cliff. And it was bigger than 80 feet because I would have contemplated like jumping
Turning
off
the
of that.
fuck-
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a little bit bigger than I would want to in this day and age, but I mean I'll show you some photos when the time comes. But
Getting old sucks, man.
Right, yeah.
But like it hanging shelf, if it were to slide, I'm pushed off of it.
There's a corner
But
stop. Like,
I smoke some weed and I don't think about it. And that was
Right,
like the
yeah.
thing I told my New Year's resolution. Be clear or have a clear mind and
Yeah.
be decisive. If you're sitting up there, I don't know. Well, today's not the day for that.
yeah.
But if you're up there and you're like, fuck, I'm going. Like just go. Don't
Live.
be a bitch about it.
That's cool. Yeah.
Just
cool.
be decisive and be confident in that decision making process, and especially when you're calculating your risk. If you're feeling it, do it.
Yeah.
If you have any sort of doubt and you're like,
That's
Yeah.
when you
that's
fuck
why.
up.
But that's why when you back out too, go with your gut
Yeah.
instinct.
Yeah.
If you go down barreling and you've got the confidence, you have that confidence alone allows you to do things that you didn't think you were capable of.
Yep.
Like you surprise yourself. when
But you
put
can't sit there
yourself
and
in
think about it, too.
situations.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have
Don't
you have to
overthink it.
just go like, this is how I'm feeling right now. Don't stop thinking about it and just
It's
fucking
gotta be
sack up and
impulsive.
go.
Yeah.
And that's what for me I really enjoyed about snowboarding this year is I found myself in that position a lot. And
Yeah.
like I said, it wasn't necessarily doing tricks. It was
Yeah.
sitting on top of a mountain like, fuck, that's a long way down and it's really steep.
Hell yeah.
But I think a lot of it going back to what it used to do for me, and I think a lot of it had to do with the weed I was smoking. Because the first time I was
Well,
introduced to it-
like was it stems
That's,
and fucking
it was the
seeds?
bricks.
No.
It was
If
the
it was
bricks,
the
right?
brick shit,
Yeah.
then that's different. If I smoke some of that right now,
Yeah.
fuck.
So I had a buddy of mine who this guy was 6-7 years older than me, and he was diagnosed with leukemia, and so he was going through chemo and all this other stuff, but he was prescribed medical marijuana from the hospital.
Okay.
And so he had really
so it was
great
good
stuff.
stuff,
It was
yeah.
good stuff.
That,
But I think that
I
was-
just saw like when fucking how
Half-
high
half
when- or no, half baked when
Half-Baked.
James
I was thinking
Chappelle
the same exact
is
thing.
just sitting there reaching.
Yeah, he's just-
he's like,
okay,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I'll take a couple of that.
All right, scientist dude.
Yeah, our scientist man.
But and I think that kind when it's prescribed to somebody with that, it's like they're going through pain like nobody's business. So it's meant to relax you. It's meant to
Yes.
put
Stealing
you
their
in a docile
medicine.
state, right? It's not meant to give you like this. Oh, I feel great. Let's go clean the house. Like no, it's meant.
No,
to
they like, make other drugs for that.
Well,
Right, yeah.
exactly, exactly.
And you're probably gonna clean a couple houses.
Yeah,
Not just
yeah.
one. Or you're gonna clean your house
You're
and then
gonna go door to
rearrange
door.
it, clean it again,
And then build a car all night. And then
Here's my business card. Is that
yeah.
in crayon? But and I'm starting to. It's cool about the times now. Is now that it's more widely accepted. It's now legal here and all that, and a lot of other places now. You're starting to see that oh, there's diversity. Like,
you want to know where
it
to see
blew
that?
my mind
You
going into a
want to know
dispensary.
where to see that diversity? New Leaf and Incline. You go sit there and fucking watch the clientele coming in and out of that fucking dispensary.
Oh, I bet, dude.
I've done it a couple times. I just sat there and I was like,
That'd be the best.
This
people
motherfucker-
watching blades, dude.
I was like, that guy does not look like he smokes weed.
Yeah.
He just walked out with like a duffel bag, like, not just like
I
a
was
couple
hungry, I
joints.
came with
Like that guy's got the shit.
I was stuck in his house for weeks because he snowed in. You might as well be stocked up.
Yeah. What's your take on edibles?
Oh fuck.
This dude at the dispensary was pushing me hard.
Well,
on
what
the
kind
edibles.
of
Probably trying to
like
get rid of them.
I feel it kind of depends. Like the edibles that I made as a kid, fucking weed and brownies, dude. Holy shit, man, those are the fucking
like a
best. And
load.
then I'm gonna eat fucking. They taste like there's just something in that chemistry of fucking weed and brownies that go together,
Yeah.
or cookies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking keep eating that shit because it
Hell
tastes
yeah.
so good. And then all of a
Exactly.
sudden you're gonna wake up 17 hours later like, I need fucking water.
You're all,
Yeah, like, dude, what the fuck? Did I take a nap? Yeah, for fucking 17 hours, dude.
yeah, you would've
You
gone-
missed work
your
today,
eyelids
too.
didn't shut though; they were just open the whole time.
in that aspect, I'm not a fan. I like
Right.
the flavor, sure, but I don't have the discipline in myself because I'm a fucking closet fat kid. So it's like I'm just gonna keep shoveling that shit in my mouth.
forget
Yeah.
But
It's
then,
not
but
just
if
the
we're
brownie.
talking about gummies and like sours and stuff like that, I love those things.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I went and hung out with some friends last night, and my buddy's girlfriend works at a dispensary in South Lake, so she has all the good, all the stuff.
Yeah.
And
She's
she
like,
was making me these
Welcome
little
to
mocktails that were
Shangri-La.
she was making me mocktails of stuff. She just, you want another drink? Yeah, sure. And maybe it felt like a cocktail. Maybe I wouldn't say it did, but by the time I left our house, I was like, "Fuck, I need to go home and take a nap."
yeah.
It's working because they were so good.
It's that
it
Rabble
was,
flavor
yeah,
in
it was
there.
like raspberry lemonade with weed in it, man. And it was sparkling too.
What?
Yeah, it was fucked up. Like whatever she was making in that kitchen was like, I just kept fucking putting them down.
Keep making them potions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was just sitting there. I was like, it's like 11:30, and I'm like,
Is this a roof?
I need to go to bed right now. Like
Making that
it
with
was
a
it was
soda
working.
stream?
Yeah.
Like, how the hell she's doing that,
Yeah,
dude?
maybe.
Had to be like soda
Streamline
stream.
was
Well,
soda
I'm-
stream.
I
Was it
like-
Streamline? I can't remember.
No,
the-
it's-
I know
soda
that
stream.
like PBR is making weed drinks, and so is
Really?
Lagunitas now.
I didn't know that.
So it's they're. I haven't really tried the PBR ones.
Yeah.
But she's had a couple that were like 15% or 15 milligrams in this like energy drink sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
there's all
Yeah.
sorts of weird shit happening, I guess, in that world.
Dude, they're just trying. They're throwing everything.
mean,
They're throwing the kitchen sink at it now. They're just like,
They're like, here, you want a fucking hippie speedball and
Right,
a fucking
yeah.
sparkling beverage? Fuck. You're gonna go fast and stay in the
Right.
same spot all at the same time.
Yeah. You're gonna feel like you went to Saturn. Well, because like I said, that the guy at the dispensary was very adamant. Like, these gummies, man, these edibles. And I'm like, okay, look, dude, I've never had edibles before, and I don't know if I.
But see, I
trust
think
it.
that's
You know,
where-
I'm not sure how it's gonna affect me, because what I'm using it for is to help me get a good night's rest, so that when I wake up at 2:00 in the morning, I felt like I actually got sleep. Because my whole life, for years, I've always been a night owl.
Yeah,
it was
same
like,
here.
Yeah, it's like when it hits 10 p.m., yeah, I start to get a little tired. But it's like, I know, shit, if I don't go to bed, I'm only getting 3 hours of sleep, at that point. So I was like, I need something that if I go to bed at 7, especially now that it's summertime,
Right.
sun's staying up a lot longer, I'm going to struggle even more. So I need something that's going to get me there. And I know when I come out of it, I know what that feeling's like.
Ketamine.
Yeah.
Holy
Holy,
shit,
what
man.
the fuck?
So, I've obviously known ketamine's a thing for a while, but I've never really fucked with it.
No.
I decided one time to fuck with it after hearing this podcast about John C. Lilly, if you know him.
I've heard of the name.
I fucked around hard, and I found out really hard, too. But so John C. Lilly, he was back in the era of the CIA and experimental drugs.
Oh,
If I remember correctly, he was the one that he first started fucking with the like cryogenic chambers that makes you feel weightless and shit.
Yeah.
So he was going in this chamber that he created and fucking just slamming himself with ketamine. And while he was in there, he was communicating with aliens and shit. So he somehow came up with this whole fucking idea to like come up with, or to, I don't know if he pitched it to the CIA or who he pitched it for to get funding for this study.
I'm glad we have people like that in the CIA.
But he had
Somebody
this
on top
whole
was like,
he had
"Let's
this
do
whole idea that dolphins and humans can live cordially together.
I did hear. Yeah,
And then he was feeding the dolphins acid.
yeah, I heard about this.
He got in some trouble for it.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
But
Peter had something
my
to say.
favorite part of the whole fucking story is he came up with this thing, or this idea for this experiment that dolphins and humans can live together in the same corridors. So they made this, like 4-foot deep water that a human lived in and the dolphin lived into.
Signed off.
And dude,
Biden signed off
is where
on
it gets
this?
fucking good, dude.
Some Bob Lazar
So
shit.
dolphins
I
are
like
like sex crazy animals. They
Yeah.
have to have sex like
Yeah.
10 times a day.
Wasn't he
They
having sex
took
with them?
well, this is where we're going.
Yeah, I was like,
So
no, dude.
yeah.
I think he was trying to-
That dude.
Yeah, okay,
fucking,
keep going. Keep going.
So
Sorry.
this dolphin kept trying to. It was a male dolphin and a female human
Yeah,
subject.
yep.
And the dolphin kept trying to fuck her and was
Yeah.
like fucking her legs up and
Yep.
bruising the shit out of her legs. So she was committed to this experiment so hard because I think she had to live with this thing for like 6 months or some shit.
Yeah.
Like it was a long period of time.
Yeah.
And what they were trying to do is get dolphins and humans to start communicating. And she was a soldier to the experiment, and so she started jacking this fucking dolphin off like a bunch of times, fucking like throughout the day for like multiple days on end. To keep the dolphin from fucking her legs up because he was just dicking the fuck out of her legs. Like
I think it went a little bit deeper though too.
it does go deeper,
yeah.
but if you the dollop, if you guys ever
Yeah.
check that podcast out, just John C. Lilly. Look, that was the first one I heard too.
Time Suck. Dan Cummings did. I think he did it
Oh,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
He talks about it too as well.
Yeah, but so I heard that podcast and I was like, man, that sounds like ketamine could be a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in my house and this dude shows up that I met last year climbing trees, and typical normal guy, like, blue collar dude. And then his friend walked in, and that dude looked like a just straight ketamine shaman. Just
already
like
picture
it's
it.
such a contrast of human beings. And he pulls out this fucking. He's like, "Hey man, you want to do some K?" And I was like, "Fuck, I guess when in Rome, here we go."
Yeah.
I'm and I don't like pushing limits. Like even when I was like drinking,
Yeah.
if I was gonna go out and fucking just put down a bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
Me in public, I know that's not where you do that.
Right,
I go out in the fucking woods, or I go to a safe spot where hopefully some people can keep up with my fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was sitting in my living room and it was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I didn't know shit about this drug. And he handed me a fucking plate. And I saw like a couple lines on it, but they all had like swirls. Like half moon swirls that I just thought it was a fucking art experiment. I was like, oh, this guy's just fucking on one. Like, all right,
Look
cool.
what I did with this
And
sand.
he told me, all of, there's different kinds of ketamine, and I was just like, fuck it, just let's go. Here we are. And I fucking ripped the whole line.
Wow.
And
don't do that, man.
no, they didn't say
You took
shit.
too much.
Wait.
No, they
You
didn't
the
say
whole
shit.
line,
Yeah, they
man?
didn't say anything. And they're like, all right. And dude, it hit me. Like I was just like, I
Like,
just
right
sat
away?
there and I was like, dude, this is like, I'm here for a little while now. I'm not getting up. And
Was it
then
right
once I
away?
got up and tried to walk, it was just like, holy shit! Like, okay, one foot in front of the other.
This gravity really hurts today.
And then the next time they handed me two lines.
Yeah.
So, but I let the first round wear off, and I was like, all right, well, fuck. I mean,
How long did it last?
I want to say it was about 45 minutes to an hour before
okay.
like they dish it back out again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was.
Oh, you're.
I mean, I did enough.
Yeah.
And then they handed me like another plate. They're like, "Oh, those two are for you." And I was like, "All right." And I was like, "Here we go." Fucking one right after the other. That's not a good thing to do, man. All I remember is just sitting on my sitting in my chair, like watching TV. We were watching like the Travis Rice's movie, The Dark Matter.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I just went into the fucking TV and was part of it. And I was like, yo, I'm snowboarding with these dudes. It really put me in the movie.
I feel like Jeff Stewart.
But then
right
I was
now.
just kind of fucking sitting there just like, holy shit. And like all I remember hearing from one of
It
them
wasn't
was
Departed or anything.
Yeah, no shit.
hearing from one of them was just like, oh, this is. He's like, now's when you feel the psychedelic effects to this shit. As I'm watching like just the kaleidoscope fucking spinning around me, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. Yep, I feel it. And then I started thinking like, did I just smoke DMT? I was like, it feels like I'm on DMT right now. They're like, no, you didn't smoke any DMT. I'm like, all right, good.
Thank God.
Because I had some in the house, but we didn't pull it out.
Oh,
thankfully.
yeah.
But it got to that point where I was like, holy fuck, what's this? And that took a long time to come out. Ended up puking a little bit. It made me sick. And well, needless to say, I won't be touching that drug again. But I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
I'm glad I did it the way I did too.
Yeah.
And then I told them that was my first time ever doing it, and they're like, bro, what the fuck? They're like. They're like, you've never done ketamine before? I was like, no, I never done. Like, I'd heard about it a little bit, but they're like, you just rip fucking gangster lines. Like, people that are like, you know, like,
metal as fuck, baby.
Were they
cool with this?
Were they doing it with you?
Yeah, they were doing it with me, but they weren't doing the lines like I was, though. No, they didn't do it like I did. They were, so come to find out, those little swirls are like key bumps to like work your way into it.
Oh.
I just fucking went right out the gate, fucking.
Full pain.
I got the whole shot, bro.
You want some?
Yeah, so that was the last time, or first and last time I did that substance.
Man. And so when you do something like that, I mean, it's like you hope to God you don't have any long-term effects from it. Because
I do, and it felt like that. I was like, yo, I just fucked myself up. I'm not coming out of this.
Did you have that
Oh
word?
yeah,
Oh,
I felt like that. And I've been there before, you know, doing DMT, and I like hallucinogenics.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something I do all the time, especially going off the rails like that.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, I was like, dude, I don't think I'm coming out of this. Like, I feel like shit.
It's like going into survival mode. Almost.
Yeah,
like,
it was strange. Like it left me in like just this weird euphoria for a long time where I was just confused and I didn't want to feel like that anymore. So yeah, like I said, I'm glad I tried it.
You're better now.
I don't need.
You're
to do
better
it
now.
again.
Yeah.
We learned from Jeff Stewart,
Right. Yeah.
but and so when you think about you know, you talked about the correlation between, you know, just going for it. And sometimes, you know, that mentality can be beneficial to you, right? And so
I feel for the most times it is.
Yeah, and for the most time it is, right? Because you can, yeah, well, that too. Yeah, you.
But I mean, it depends on what you're going for. I was trying to put myself in the K-hole.
Right.
Fuck. I'm like I said, I'm glad I went there.
Yeah.
I'm not going back.
Right.
So, what is happening with purification?
Well, we're doing a lot of writing right now.
Yeah.
We're going, you know, the stuff that we tapped in years past is like kind of all, you know, or up to this point has been based off of like, you know, the western part of the Sierra or you know, the 1800s, the gold rush era.
Right.
Now we're starting to tap into just a little bit of other things to mix it up and not just pigeonhole ourselves into, you know, we just sing about, you know, the Wild West.
Yeah.
We're if you know the J.C. Dugard story. She was the girl that
abducted.
Yeah,
right?
she was abducted and then
Lived with her
raped
captor
and
over
ended
and
up
over.
giving birth.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
She was the one they found.
Then she escaped
in Sacramento,
yeah.
right?
No, it was down in like Antioch.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
something like that.
yeah.
Wouldn't she the one that she was in the diner with the guy and someone recognized her and she was like, my name is so and so, and
I'm pretty sure that's how that went down. I'm still collecting like research, but you know that happened in my neighborhood.
No shit.
In '91.
Wow.
But we're going into that route, and we're actually, I'm you know, In Flames is like my favorite band as far as, you know, I mean Black Sabbath is my favorite band, but you know, modern day music, it took me a long time to, you know, agree to this with myself, but In Flames is my favorite band. You know, we're working in some melody into our music. I'm not going to be singing over it, so don't worry. It's still going to be nasty, but we're, you know, just, you know, for the first time since I've been in this band too, which July 1st will be 10 years since my first show.
Wow.
But you know, the lineup we have right now, we're we're all working together to create music together.
Yeah.
And the couple, for the first time we've been in the room like, okay, let's structure songs together, because
Yeah.
before, when I joined the band, here's songs, do what you
Right.
do to them,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun, but
Well,
at the same time, like
you get your
you're
feet wet.
forced, but you're forced to abide by that structure,
Right.
Right.
especially when you have guitar players like, no, I wrote it like this, I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, fuck you.
Well, it's
Like,
one thing
I'm
to
trying to
jump in.
sing too,
Are,
know?
are you having that open say now that you guys are doing it
Yeah, now that
collectively?
we're doing it, it's like, okay, well, this is kind of what I'm hearing, let's add this. So, there's some dark parts, and, like with a song and a subject like that, like you're going to a dark place.
Right, right.
It's not something that I really want to be singing about, but at the same time, that's something that happened in the, where in my neighborhood where we're
Right.
from, and she's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she's, I think, a year older than I am.
Right.
So that's a lot of my friends up there where, it happened in front of one of my friend's house. So, I've been, picking up information here and there and trying to piece these, the best way I can to tell the story. But, fact of the matter, this world is not a happy place
No.
sometimes. And, I don't want to highlight the dark, but we're a death metal band. I'm not singing about fucking
Puppies of
all the
rainbows,
beautiful scenery we have. Like I think it was the last show, or when we played the other night. I don't know if I don't know if I said it there or if it the night before when we were in Nevada City.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, we're Purification by Fire. We hail from the Sierra Nevadas. Most people think that place is beautiful. We're here to tell you all the shit that's not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I love where I'm from, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's a really, there's a yin and yang to it.
Yeah,
But,
right.
singing about that. And then the next one that I'm going to target too is kind of along the same lines of the JC Dugard story, which is the mother, daughter, and her friend that got kidnapped and murdered in Yosemite. And they
They were at that cabin.
Yeah, they're in the cabin,
Yeah,
and
I
they found the
remember.
bodies
Yep.
burnt in a car.
Yep.
Oh.
So
yeah.
that we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna go two routes with those songs, just because I want to.
Yeah. It was that dude. His brother, the person who killed him. Right. It was his brother got killed, or was a murderer too. I think I know what you're talking about. I can't.
Well, they were staying at the Cedar Lodge that was in Yosemite,
Right,
and he was
yeah.
the janitor.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
This is the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just, if anything, it's gonna be like if we can get a little bit of a budget for a music video on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of have a storyboard laid out for how a music video can go for it. It's not going to be happy. It's not going to be pretty, but
Right.
that's our way of, putting light on the subject.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah.
be careful, pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lot with being sober. That's, or I wouldn't say being sober, but, being trained as a wildland firefighter, knowing your situational awareness,
Yeah.
being a bouncer in a club all the time, I don't want to say I'm a bouncer, but,
Right.
as long as I've been in clubs, I'm not going to let people fucking
Right.
act fools. I'll take you outside if I have to.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, being sober, like I don't want to see my friends go through that. I don't want to see anybody else go through something like that. And, if it's just putting a visual concept into the song that we're writing about, like, this is a fucking true story. This happened. And pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't, and kids in Tahoe, or, even just people in Tahoe in general that come up to visit, they get so fucking blown out.
Right.
They don't know where the fuck they're at.
Right.
And that's, bringing up the sober thing is, that's the thing. I'm like, if you're out with me in public, I'm never putting myself with my back to the crowd anywhere usually.
Right.
Right.
I'm always looking, always scanning. And I just, hope people can pick up what we're doing, as opposed to like, oh, they're singing songs about rape and murder.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, no, it's not. I mean, yeah, we are, but we're highlighting something that's a very dark subject that,
Right.
Some people just don't like going there.
No.
That's the thing.
Well, let's talk about that, because with songwriting, there's so many different avenues you can take, and so many different kind of inspirations you gain. And I'm one for, I love hearing about a concept or an idea, ideology, mythology, anything that triggers my interest, and going, oh, that's so fucking cool to hear about, you know,
Right.
and going, how does that correlate to now, or how does that correlate to me? How does that speak to me? And sometimes it's just a history, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of history, and I love writing about things that are historical but have a meaning in my own mind and expressing it in that way. And sometimes you can take like a subject like the Dugard story and go, there is another thing you can branch off from, like awareness or maybe the kind of hell that person might have gone through.
Yeah.
And the psychology that they had to deal with.
Yeah, and still too.
Yeah.
Like that poor girl, like that she's I mean, I'm not saying she's the only one on the planet that has dealt with something like that, but she's a diamond in the rough, and if you look at it like that, like that's she's not. I mean, not, and I mean, I think that's just even the wrong way to put it. No. But she doesn't have anybody to talk to that can be like, this
or
is
relate. Like,
I know what you're feeling. Like she doesn't have that.
Right.
And like, I mean,
best empathy.
Fuck, I mean, and you can only imagine putting yourself there, but you still don't fucking know.
Right.
No. What brings on those ideas to write about that? Is it kind of like you hear a story and you go, wow, and you dwell on it, or is it something that you go?
Oh, I mean, I've thought on this for a while.
Okay.
I mean, how the whole thing happened with why we were picking, when I was in IDK, that started off, the typical, the easiest shit to write about.
Right.
Fucking don't be a bitch. Fucking.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you pissed me off. A revenge song, and then that slowly started turning into like apocalyptic shit.
Oh.
Like, which I kind of felt like hit the name kind of right.
Uh-huh.
But when I was like, that was my first band, so it was like really easy to just sing about girlfriends and.
Well, and you think about it now, you're like, man, I write so much better now.
I'm way better. Like I can't even listen to that shit anymore.
You come from somewhere though.
But then in Otis was kind of all over the place. Didn't really have like a whole thing, but they were based off of B movies, so. Like when I did start putting lyrics to stuff, like 30 Days of Night was one of the songs I did for that.
Okay.
Because even Otis was I can't remember the movie it was, but the axe Otis spoke to the dude that murdered people. It was like total B film.
Oh.
But Otis was on the axe, so if you look at the Otis logo,
yeah,
it was an axe with Otis in the middle.
Gotcha.
Really?
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. And then in Purification, once I joined them, because I was trying out for Embryonic Devourment at the same time, and they're like, yeah, we want you. And which I really did. Like at the time I was all into, listening to a lot of Alex Jones and shit.
Yeah.
And so that fits right up those dudes love singing about rip. Yeah. Lizard people, and like they're all about it, Yeah. But at the same time I was going to have to learn their music and kind of write how they wanted me to, or at least learn the songs that they wrote, which isn't what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So I chose Purification because I told them if I'm joining, this is what I want.
Right.
I'm going to take your songs and we're wiping the slate clean. I'm putting my stuff over the top.
Yeah.
And going from there. At the time, I didn't have any fucking idea, though.
Yeah. Right.
Where we were going. And then I was driving to band practice one day, going up and over Donner Summit, and hey, I know what the fuck happened down there in that back corner.
Right.
And then it just kind of waterfalled from there. So... and I hate the whole gimmick fucking thing when it comes to bands, but I think it's more like the image gimmick.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we have a topic, and like growing up in the Sierra from the southern, living in Bishop for a good chunk of my life.
Yeah.
Going through Bodie, learning all that stuff. Like I've always been intrigued. Like Bodie, if you've never ever been, is my favorite fucking place on the planet. Like
you got a hot sauce named after it.
Yeah. The Curse of Bodie.
Yeah.
We should do a taste test. You guys want to do a spoonful of this shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just really like the history and stuff that I learned throughout there. And there's a lot of stuff I still am gonna tap into, but we just need to put more songs out and spend more time, which, like I said, is what we're doing right now. We had a couple big lumps. Obviously COVID fucking did some shit.
Right.
That slowed us down. Then trying to, once you lose like your two original like kind of key members, which is unfortunate. I'm bummed that it went down the way it did. I don't want to talk about that too much, but it's like it's still it bothers me a little bit, like having somebody quit because they don't feel that their reasons. I don't want to put words into somebody else's mouth, but You know, I felt that there was a way we could have kept working to go through
It's a
it, but then
dynamic shift.
yeah, but then, you know, me and Jared started butting heads really hard to where I just didn't even want to talk anymore.
Yeah.
And then that led to him quitting, but him saying that we kicked him out. It's we can sit here and do this all day long. I don't want to do that either. But you know, it put a ripple in our thing. And then when the drama came out on the internet and everything, you know, it definitely created fucking boundaries. Even now.
Yeah.
Like when we played Nevada City, which is technically our hometown.
Yeah.
I noticed it.
Oh,
I don't
Really?
give a fuck.
In
I
the
mean,
crowd?
what's funny is they still showed up. They were still in the fucking crowd.
Still
they might
paid
not,
money to come in.
They might not have said hi to me. I mean, yeah, they still paid. I mean, and there's some people throwing some salt our way, but at the same time, dude, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck
like you know what? Like I joined this band to try and push it to the limit. And I've invested a shit ton of money. Dustin came in after me. He's invested a shit ton of money.
Right.
And where we're at now is we have we'll just say a really hot demo ready to
Okay.
go, but we're just sitting on stuff waiting to release it. We have there's a tour opportunity in the works at the end of the year or end of the summer fall area that we're it's not 100% yet, so I don't want to
Jump
just
the
be
gun.
like, yeah, we got this tour coming up.
Right.
But it's got some pretty big fucking bands on it, and for the first time we got offered a national run. So
Nice.
but that came from, you know, if there's one thing this band has done over the years is do everything fucking ass backwards. We don't have any music out, but we got a fucking whole wall of merchandise.
Right. Yeah.
Like even now, like I mean, granted,
But it's piecing it together. It's, there is no right or wrong
there's
way.
not
no,
like
but
front
the
to
one
back,
thing we
like-
did do is we branded the fuck out of ourselves over that. You know, me putting shows on and having I could cherry pick the shows I wanted to put us on.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's being main support for Dying Fetus and
Right.
fucking I guess headlining over Deicide, but closing for Deicide, that pushes you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, even Alter Beast was like, I was like, you guys can play after this. We'll open if you want to play after Deicide. And they're like, fuck no.
Right.
They're like, no. So by default, it was us, but we played after Deicide.
Yeah.
You got to you got to swing for the fences at that point in time, you know? So, I just, the grind, get our name out there, and for not having any music out, we still get hit up a lot. Where's your music? Where can I find your music?
Right.
Well, we're sitting on it. It's coming.
Right.
So we're just, in the smart way to go about it, which finally now we are thinking smart, and that's why we're just kind of being quiet and staying hidden for a minute. Is we're creating and.
But
stacking up our content.
It gives people a chance to kind of want it more, too.
People, and because people know we've done stuff. Like we're sitting on music videos that we've fucking filmed over a year ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got 2 of those. We got playthroughs. We got stuff that people have not heard and have not seen.
Yeah.
And
Also, you got to.
I mean, it's fucking. I want it out.
Yeah.
I want to share with people, but we got to be patient, because if we drop it now. And with the stuff that's on the table, if we drop it now, then we got to go out and do it all over again.
Yep.
Right.
And it's not as valuable as say, if because we self-released a song and a music video on our own, and it didn't do anything remotely close to what we thought it was going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think our video in 3 years hit like almost 5,000 views. Not bad,
That's
I
not
guess.
bad. That's not
That's
bad.
pretty good.
But we didn't have anybody pushing it but ourselves.
Right.
So and I know you can hit up like Metal Sucks and things like that, and Reverb Nation is Reverb Nation even a
Reverb.
thing
Yeah.
anymore?
Reverb
They're
Nation's still
around.
going.
But
Bandcamp.
the tabloids that are out there,
Yeah.
and they'll do like Slam Nation or those places will will highlight your
snippet,
video and,
Right.
and release it for you, or Slam Worldwide, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But they'll sponsor your video. You give them some cash, and they'll distro it, if you will.
yeah.
So we're just, kind of sitting back, relaxing, watching. We finally have an EPK after 10 years.
Wow.
For those of you who don't know, electronic press kit, and that's what changed the ball game for us.
Yeah.
We, even though we haven't released it, we still have the music video links on there. So I started sending those to the agents and stuff I've been working with.
Yeah.
And then they're like, All right,
Hey.
you guys are on some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, before, if this tour does pop off for us, now we have fuel to put out right before then.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the idea after that is to, while we're going to go play the song. We're not going to really play any of the new shit on this tour because we've never really left much of the West Coast.
Right.
So if we go out on a big run with these guys, we're going to just play the stuff that we know we can rip through,
Right.
hit hard, hit heavy. And then
Get
when
them on
we're
the
hot,
train.
but then when we're hot and people are paying attention to us, now we're going to start
Yeah.
dropping all the new
Right,
stuff
yep.
that we're sitting on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the
That's the way
marketing.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's. Then I have a feeling we're gonna have another tour offer right after that too.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
Especially if you got
I
the
have
music
confidence
still.
in myself to that level. I don't want to say I'm cocky, but
Right.
I'm confident with and for not playing for 6 months and then just coming out of the woodwork for last weekend.
Yeah.
And the way we played, I fucking loved opening in Nevada City.
Uh-huh.
Playing on the floor, it's very rare that we open up a show anymore these days.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, motherfuckers,
Right.
here we go.
I'm
We're
with
setting
you.
and it takes a minute for the crowd to get people moving,
Yeah.
or
Especially the opening
for the
band.
band. Fucking. I have a gift. I feel. Because it was, we weren't even halfway through the first fucking song and kids were smashing each other. It was
Hell
like, fuck yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was an all ages show with kids that are there to fucking get rowdy. So,
Telling you.
which, yeah, what
that
the
keeps
fuck,
popping
man?
up, dude.
God
Dude,
damn
it keeps coming up, and that's
Well, I think we can do all ages shows. Well, I know we can. It's just, we got to pull together. And the thing that I feel what's going on in Reno, and it has been for years, everybody's trying to do their own thing.
yeah.
And no one's really trying to be
Are you
like,
talking
yo,
about
let's.
venues or bands?
No, well, fuck the venues.
Fuck the venues. Yeah.
I mean, there's people out there that are trying to do the right thing,
Are
Like
you talking about like putting on a festival then, like or something?
no,
Or just
having like a formality.
All right.
Oversaturation is something that's happening in this town that just.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like, you see the same bill, like, with just a band pulled off. Like, it seems like you might see that same lineup 3 times at the same venue with just one band changing places, and that's got to fucking stop.
Yeah.
Where's the excitement? You know,
Right.
like, I'm not going to pay to go see that shit every fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever, in all the years, and even from the first time I ever played at Whiskey Dick's, I don't think I've ever seen the same lineup at that venue.
I will never do that.
And it makes sense because it adds variety. You get a chance to hear different bands, different styles, whatever the case may be, and it's always new. It's always fresh.
Yep, and that's the thing that's in my head. Like, I
Right.
want to keep that word fresh is something
Right.
that I use too. It needs to be fresh.
Right.
Because if it's not, it's going to come stale. And
Yeah.
fucking who likes biting into a fucking saltine cracker,
This-
let alone a saltine cracker that's been sitting outside for 3 fucking
Yeah, the
days.
bombardment of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Like you said, the oversaturation. It just kills everything about it because it may be 1 or 2 or however many groups that do that or fall into that pocket, but it makes it worse for everybody
but
else.
then it also makes
too.
it very clicky.
Yeah.
You know,
It
you-
doesn't
you-
That's a
become-
huge thing.
Yeah, and it's huge. I mean, look at what the fuck just happened to me. Like, they got this little clique over here being like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking Nazi." You know,
Right.
get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys saw that video I put out.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I'm fucking tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're sitting there. We don't want this a part of our scene. We don't want this a part of our scene. Well, guess what? It's not part of your scene because I never fucking see you, motherfuckers.
Right.
Like, come out and be a part of it because these people that I mean, I'm just gonna talk about me. Fuck everybody. Or, not
Yeah.
fuck everybody else.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
calling me a Nazi, drawing fucking cute little pictures and
Yeah,
shit with
right.
mustaches on me. This is coming from guys that are 40 years old that have fucking kids and a family. This is what we're teaching. Like,
Yeah, no shit.
and this is also what's part of our scene. And they're saying that this is our scene. This is our scene. We don't want these people a part of it. And like I said,
It's a little
I never
elementary.
see them out. And then like in the discussions with them, they're saying that, oh yeah, I only go to Crush shows. And, well, then why the fuck do you have your nose in the fucking metal business?
That doesn't mean a community. That means a clique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pigeonholed yourself.
Yeah, then why in the fuck are you dictating what the fuck? And I'm doing a show in fucking Tahoe. Why the fuck are you? This is my favorite part about it. So, yeah, I mean, they were talking about Subduer being Nazis and this and that, and someone said that Whiskey Dicks abides racism. And it's like, this is what most people don't fucking know. The owners are fucking, she's Asian and he's white. Yeah, they abide by racism, you fucking dumbass. Like, dude, these people just don't.
That title, though, the point is they think if I can get people to believe that, oh, that is the end all, right? Because that's what you're seeing on social media. You're seeing it in the news. It's that word racist or Nazi, like
clickbait.
It's it's clickbait.
Exactly.
That's exactly
Well,
what it is.
If you say it enough times, people will believe it. Whether
Whether
and-
you have validity
Yeah,
or not.
well, so,
it doesn't
like-
matter.
social media, no one's going to look it up. No one's going to do the research.
No, exactly.
They're just going to be like, oh, I saw this on Facebook and 400 people agreed.
Right.
It
Yeah.
must be a Nazi.
So, like, I dated this chick that she was super cute. She was a hippie. I don't like hippies.
Yeah.
She was super hard fucking left. I'm not right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm not hard left.
Right. Yeah.
And like, she was to the point where, I mean, we just disagreed on a lot of things. But when you disagreed on something with her, it would like just right off the tip of the tongue, oh, that's racist. When it had nothing to do with fucking racism
Yeah.
whatsoever.
But that's the
It was
ideology.
like, just because that's what you disagreed with is
Yeah.
racist. Like, and this is where we're fucking going. It's like,
That's their defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Growing up that
literally.
way.
That's
I don't know what to do. It's
It's
fucking
a-
racist.
yeah,
I
That's
don't.
their skunk spray.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all that it is.
Speaking of which, did you hear about those kids in Colorado that let off the fart spray in school and evacuated the whole fucking school? It happened this week. Evacuated the whole fucking school. It might be Texas or Colorado. I don't know. Somewhere out there.
We used to do
But
that
they
with
used
like,
fart spray, but it got people sick, and now they're facing fucking criminal charges from
what?
it.
Are you serious? We used to do that.
Keeping it real goes
We
wrong.
used to do that. Yeah, you had
I always thought that shit smelled like fucking mothballs anyway, unless it was like stink bombs.
The fart,
Yeah,
or
the
the
fart
stink
bombs smell
yeah.
like fucking sulfur, dude.
Yeah.
Those things are
Straight
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like 3 packs of those. I'm just sitting on.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I,
those
had-
in forever.
I was
Right
gonna
moment.
sabotage the show.
yeah.
I wasn't, but I had some friends that were gonna sabotage the show. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm the mischievous devil
Yeah,
in me
right.
was like, you know what? You need to go away.
Yeah. I don't want.
Well, you focus on the music and
Right.
people having a good time.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
fucking matters.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the point, you know. And regardless of your ideology, music speaks to everybody in different fucking ways, and you can't fucking please everybody,
No.
you know. But there is that group that think that there's one way and one way only, and it irritates me because you are taking something so you know, it's subjective, right? If it's broadened, right? I just want to make sure I didn't. I gotta pull up. I got. Thank you. He's my fact checker. But you take something that's so subjective, like music or just art in general, and you could take it however the way you fucking want to. But when you start to add your objective truths, and you start trying to compile that in to make it where you know now it's like this is the way it is, and you better fucking follow along. That's fucking propaganda at its
Yeah,
best.
100%.
That's literally what it is.
And then you're sitting here
Now
like
who's the
you're
fucking
sitting here
Nazi?
watching people post, you know, like, oh, I'm anti-fascist, and then you sit back like, I wish some of these people would like extract themselves from the bubble they live in and then look inside the fucking bubble and see the definition of what that is,
Right,
because those are the ones that are acting fascist as fuck.
right.
Like they're sitting there and just, you do this, do that, and if you don't do this, and dude, they like, hello.
Do the research.
Yeah.
They change the definition of the words they use too.
Yeah.
If that definition doesn't work for what
Right,
I'm
if
doing,
it doesn't fit.
we're changing the
Yeah,
definition.
yep.
And
Yeah.
whatever you are is what I say.
Right.
Right. So there's no fucking reality.
No.
You can't argue with those people.
Yeah.
All you can do is just kind of go like, okay.
I just,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know,
pat
yeah.
them and walk away.
Get going now. Okay?
Yeah, that's kind of, you
Moving
know,
on,
what
dude.
how like what I've had to do with a handful of people that are involved in the music around here lately.
Yeah.
And granted, I have opinions on certain things, and it's not that I'm a fucking shitty person because I feel that a dude shouldn't be fucking fighting women.
Well,
Right.
that's a
You know, and
It
that's
falls
where
in the
like all of a
same
sudden
line.
now I'm a bigot because I don't support trans athletes and fucking MMA. Like,
Yeah,
get the
it's-
fuck
yeah,
out of
yeah.
here,
it's hot or
man.
cold. It's like no.
I don't
there's a gray
understand how
fucking
you.
area.
I just don't understand. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they see that that's okay. I don't. But I'm not saying that. like, don't go out and do as you will with your body. Like that. Do what you want. Same thing with religion. Believe in what you want.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can still be a good fucking person. Like I honestly fucking hate religion. I don't have faith, but I can fucking date a Christian girl.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
As
You
long
know,
as-
I don't know if she can date me,
Right.
but you know, but I'm upset. You know, like, dude, believe in whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But in my world, you either there's no gray area. You're either a fucking good human being or you're a shit human being.
Yeah.
Right.
And if there's evidence of you being a really shit human being, and I'm not talking about playing a fucking festival with some bands that you didn't even fucking know about,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
like, come on, man,
Give
come
it
up
a
with something
fucking
fucking
rest.
better than that.
Yeah. Give it a fucking rest.
Click.
But talking about, when you said, these people need to get outside of that fucking bubble that they live in, but that's literally what they're doing.
Yeah.
They live in a bubble where they just stew about their own shit, and then they throw it out to the fucking ether and don't care about anybody else's reaction to it, because we grew up knowing, like, all right, I got some fucked up ideas, but I only told certain people about these ideas, and maybe they're like, oh no, me too. It's like, oh shit, we have something in common. Okay. So then you kind of can get into that with those kind of people.
Yeah.
But and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like, hey, you
Or-
want to kill somebody this weekend? Me too. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
But
like,
yeah, I mean, it's fantasy world. Like to
Yeah.
a certain point,
Yeah.
like I keep thinking about just how much hatred Trump got for the grab him by the pussy thing.
yeah.
How many fucking people are upset over that? Oh, the president said this, but I guarantee you said some fucking far
Hell
worse shit.
yeah.
Far
And I've
worse
said
shit.
some really fucking terrible things in my life, and so is Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, yeah. Great example.
So is fucking Dennis Leary. So is
Exactly.
Bill Burr.
Let's go to the whole.
You know,
Outrage for Bill Clinton fucking Monica with a cigar and getting
Yeah.
Where's the outrage? They
Oh,
tried to
there
impeach
was
him for
outrage
it,
there. There
but,
was.
but not like 24/7 news.
No,
cycle
but-
for 4 fucking years.
but now, I mean, like, look at to maybe change actions versus like cognitive ability.
Yeah.
Look at the fucking president we have now. I'm not like, yeah. Well, that's where I'm going with it.
Again.
So, regardless of your stance on anything politically, if you can't fucking physically drive a vehicle, you shouldn't be fucking behind the fucking cockpit of a country.
Just saying.
Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And then, I mean, obviously the dude can't ride a bike. He can't fucking walk. Like, I mean, was
surprised he
there
can
like
write
a
his
fold
name.
on the red carpet that he was walking across that like got him? It didn't look like it. It just looked like his legs just said, "Fuck, I'm out."
Yeah. What kind of popularity contest voted that year, dude? Oh my fucking god. Unbelievable. The most popular ever. Yeah,
Well, and
how
then
ironic.
there's something that has been just going in my head. Everybody says go out and vote, go out and vote, go out and vote. I don't feel that your votes fucking matter.
You're pigeonholed to
You're-
what? In
Well,
reality, you get a small fraction of these independent groups, and they're not funded by anybody but themselves, hardly, right?
Yeah.
But then you get two choices in the end of it. That's really what it
Yeah,
comes
but-
down to.
True, but then in general, let's go outside of like presidential candidacy or anything like that. The proof that makes me realize that your votes don't fucking matter. Do you remember the daylight savings thing?
Oh, when they were going to cancel daylight savings?
Yeah.
It fucking passed with unanimous colors. The people wanted the daylight savings to end. Guess
Yeah.
what? And in California, I don't know about Nevada, but in California, they voted to vote.
They voted.
They voted to put it on the ballot. It made it on the ballot, and it passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to go into play this year,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
Are they still trying to go? I
It just didn't happen.
Right.
But there's a
When it was
scientific
supposed to.
reason we fucking have it.
No, there's no
No.
fucking way,
Procession.
dude. Cut the top of a fucking blanket off and sew it to the bottom. Does that fucking blanket get any longer? No.
It's precession. It's the wobble of the earth.
Before we had electricity, it makes sense.
Well, okay. So telling the time, one thing. Okay.
No, it's for farming.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Oh no, you're right. No, I'm thinking. Never mind.
Right.
Mind. I'm thinking leap year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
I'm
leap year's
thinking of
different.
year.
Yeah.
That's different. That's different. But daylight savings time.
Yes.
You're right.
But just wake up with a fucking sun. Like
Yeah,
I lived on
what's
a
wrong with
pot
that?
farm for fucking
you're right.
like 4 years. The only thing I didn't have, I was off grid. I worked with the sun. As soon as those birds started chirping, that was my alarm clock. I got up and went out and went. And what's crazy for me when daylight savings does happen, it doesn't just like make me feel different for like an hour's different. It's like 2 hours difference that it fucks me up.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden now it's getting dark at 4:30.
But what's the difference between that and jet lag?
Well,
Nothing. It's the same fucking thing.
For like people who work.
Okay, so it's
people
brighter
work
than
weird
when I wake
schedules
up.
who
It's
don't have
bright.
like the 9 to 5 jobs. Get fucked the most because
gives
the
a
9 to
fuck?
5ers
Yeah.
don't even know the fucking time changed.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
I can have another mimosa.
Right, yeah.
You know, and then the rest of us are laying in bed at like 7 p.m. and it's still like noon sun trying to
5
sleep.
o'clock is still the same.
Yeah.
God damn.
I mean, granted, I don't like. I just like longer days in general.
Yeah.
But that's because in the summertime I can work and then go play every day.
Right.
In the wintertime, I only got playtime.
Yeah.
So if I work during the daytime, it's fucking dark when
Yeah,
I get off.
that's
I
it,
can't go
yeah.
out and do rad shit outside.
right.
So I guess I gotta either figure out my nightlife schedule, but then I want to wake up early as shit and go snowboarding. So
Right.
like I live right below Echo Summit, and I probably got 150 laps on Echo Summit this year. And there one day I got I think 16 laps
Oh wow.
of just driving
Just
fucking
around
Echo
and
Summit.
around
Yep,
and around.
drop somebody off, come down, fucking pick them up, go to the top.
Jesus.
But we would start as soon as the sun started cracking.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just like being up in the daytime. As soon as the sun goes down, I was going to bed at like 7:30 sometimes, 8 o'clock. I
Yeah.
was like, fuck yeah,
Hell
this is
yeah.
shit. And I'm loving that now.
Yeah.
And when I get on that 8:30 bedtime, like I'm into that.
Yeah.
But when it's still fucking light outside, like
There's still shit I could do.
I guess I should just go rub one out real quick and probably pass out after that.
Maybe that'll do the trick.
Where's that K at?
All right, we got to try this hot sauce. We got to do it.
Yeah.
I've been eyeballing it this whole time. We got to crack
We got
that.
the.
So here, my thought, and I pitched it to a bar I brought it into. I was like, put this shit in your Bloody Mary when someone orders
you
it.
said you have 3 different ones though, right?
Yeah. We don't have. Well, I had the other ones, but I left them in the
I
trailer
gotta
this
get a
winter.
chip.
And the trailer got buried, and then they froze, and then they all exploded in the trailer all over our merch. Do it right. I'll do it with you. Just put a big old fucking dab on that thing.
Get it.
Yeah, there you go. That'll do it.
Yeah, give me a chip. I did the Pocky chip. I'm okay.
Oh, dude, I haven't done that. Like I love hot sauce, but the one chip challenge ain't my thing.
Bro, it is hell.
Here, I want in on
Yeah. Are you gonna?
It's literal hell on earth.
Is it a clean burn though?
Like
This is a clean burn. It won't burn twice.
no, and I can smell the vinegar, and I love that.
All I smell is cheese.
I love that smell.
Oh, you want one?
I want you to get up on that mic.
Oh yeah, no, I will. I'm
I
trying.
want to be able to hear you chew.
All right.
All right, cheers,
I'll
boys.
do it.
Boys.
Cheers.
So
Habanero?
no,
What is that? Ghost?
no, it's Carolina.
Oh, Carolina Reaper.
In I think we get 26 bottles. It's weird. It's a weird number. 26 5-ounce bottles. So what does that come out to? Like a half gallon
Yeah.
or a gallon and a half? The hiccups are starting.
Here it comes.
Uh,
That's
smooth.
tasty though.
I like that.
That's good.
No, this is nothing compared to that chip because the chip is like your whole your
You got the
lungs.
dust though and everything too though, right?
yeah,
so-
the powder is fucking gnarly.
That's what makes it hot.
Yeah.
Period. The chip is black.
I
I'm
saw.
telling-
You haven't
Your,
seen the
your
video.
entire esophagus, your lungs, your mouth, your sinuses, everything feels like it's in an oven. It's a dry. It's just a straight heat. It feels like you have a kiln going on in your fucking head.
That's gonna feel good coming out.
No, this I haven't noticed it burn twice.
No.
No,
Oh, sweet.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like
but
that.
the dangerous stuff with that is it tastes so good
I know.
you want to keep eating it.
Yeah, and you don't want to
So
stop.
then all of a sudden, like, so right now you put it, do it again.
Yeah.
and you'll start feeling like your cheeks start to tingle out here, and then the sinuses open up.
I'll do another one.
You want to do another one?
Yeah.
I am
All right, I'm in
Those are
too.
good.
Might pop some, but it like the heat spreads.
So where did you have that made?
The old IDK house.
Oh,
It
really?
was made the one that was right behind Whiskey Dicks that I'm sure
Yeah.
most of you people have fucking partied at.
You want to do an outing on this one?
An outing?
Wrap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, fuck yeah! I want more of that. All right.
But so like breakfast burritos, where it's at. But like,
Yeah.
imagine that in a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
That makes me want to go get a Bloody Mary.
I was on a Bloody Mary kick for a while.
Oh, dude, that was my shit. But I'd always have to have a beer and a Bloody Mary.
There's this restaurant down the street here. Shout out to Lucky's Bar for sponsoring this video. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But Lucky's, this bartender, she makes a mango Bloody Mary. Dude, that shit.
Really?
Oh my God. Monday mornings, if you go over to Lucky's, Anna's got you taken care
There's
of.
96 Carolina Reapers in that batch.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. I think I'm desensitized after that fucking chip. But I feel it, just not anything new.
But the flavor, like
The flavor's
and
good,
that's
though.
what I wanted. I wanted like I didn't want a hot
but-
sauce that's just gonna burn the fuck out of you.
Right.
Right, with no flavor. Yeah.
With no, that just tastes like pepper. Like
Right.
Right.
there's a lot of flavor in that, and that's what makes it dangerous, is it makes you want to keep eating it.
Again and again and
See,
again.
now my lips are starting to.
My nose is running.
I feel the sweat building around my eyebrows right now. Woo, yeah. All right. So we didn't get to do it last time when you were here. But we didn't get to the Mount Rushmore for you. We weren't able to do it because we lost time and we lost cameras and we lost power.
Of bands?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
So
or individual artist, however you want to do it,
Like the most pivotal, or
however you want your top 4.
oh, I mean Black Sabbath. There's just no greater fucking. I wouldn't. I'm trying to think of how I would really put that. The way I always say it is, Black Sabbath is the greatest band that's ever fucking lived. Who's changed rock and roll to that level?
Nobody I could think
There
of.
wouldn't be Anal Cunt without fucking Black
Right.
Sabbath. You know, like, and that's where it started. Like, who? I mean, Queen is a fucking great band. I think Talking Heads are like. David Byrne is. I was watching some live clips of them just recently, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like that guy's wild.
Yeah.
You know, like Freddie Mercury. Like, you know, you look at what Queen's done, and that was a great. I mean, huge fucking band.
yeah.
But did they really? Did they really make something
not-
change direction?
No.
Well, I think
Did Led Zeppelin make anything change direction? No, they didn't.
Yeah. Depends.
people
They
would argue
they
that
they
Led Zeppelin-
recycled a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get where they were. Black Sabbath is like,
Yardbirds
yo,
and all
check
that.
this
Yeah.
out.
Cream.
This is the Hand of Doom. Like,
Right. Yeah.
here's Nativity in Black. Like,
Right.
nobody had done that, and I feel that makes Black Sabbath. That gives them the right to be the most pivotal band in
Yeah.
history.
And to stay
And then you
And to stay
but
relevant.
then to add riffs to the table,
Yeah.
and to this day, those riffs are still sick, and they're still inspiring
Yeah.
newer bands that come out. Like I've really been into Paul Bearer lately,
Oh,
and you know Paul Bearer, Uncle Acid, like all those bands are fucking heavily based off the riff, which Black Sabbath,
Yeah.
in
that
my
was,
opinion, Tony Iommi is a fucking riff lord.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
you want to add some good fucking tone, like
Yeah, he wasn't a shredder, but he was. His riffs were like.
and tone,
Yeah.
like
Tasty.
and.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it, and
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah.
Like I'll go back and, I mean, I pretty much run through every Sabbath album, the first 7 albums, like multiple times a year,
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
So Sabbath.
So yeah.
So Sabbath, you know, as I said earlier, In Flames is up there.
okay.
Uh,
They're great. fucking-
I haven't heard
for,
their new
for
album.
modern, dude. The new album is so
I
fucking
know. I heard
good.
it was really good.
And the reason why I feel that they're so good, or why they're in that, you know, that 1-2 spot, they can't take the
Yeah.
crown from Sabbath, but
yeah.
In Flames is there because if you listen to their music and have an open mind and you pay attention to their discography and the way they roll through everything, that is the most matured metal band that's
Diverse
out.
and matured. I think.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you get death metal, you get prog,
Yeah.
you get clean melodies, you
Little bit
get
of thrash,
soft,
you
like
get all of it. Yeah.
like flamenco guitars and their
Yeah.
stuff. You get thrash, you get grind blasty,
Mhm.
and it's good.
Yeah.
Like, you might not be a fan of some of the stuff, but even people that don't listen to metal, I'm like, here, check this out. They're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is what you listen to. I'm
I
like,
think that's
"Oh,
a great
yeah,
that band is a
kinda."
great introduction to metal. I
Yeah,
think.
especially
and
for
that could
bands that
branch
are
you
like
out
hot
everywhere.
right now.
Yeah.
And but that's the thing that like really gets me with that band that fucking bothers me in a sense. Somehow they're out there not getting fucking radio play.
Yep.
And this latest album is good enough to be on the radio in my opinion, but the radio's still not playing them.
No.
Same
They're
thing
playing-
with like the new Whitechapel albums, The Valley
Uh-huh.
and what was the other one?
Shit.
The radio never played stuff like that
Yeah.
anyway, though.
No, but it should.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
then you got bands like that going out and like In Flames is opening for fucking Megadeth and Five Finger Death Punch, and it's
Right,
like,
right.
dude, god damn it,
yeah.
like, what the where did Five Finger Death Punch come from? Oh, they got a Monster sponsor. I mean, that's
We got jerseys, bro.
well, so
We're a
I was
team.
walking through the local gas station going to work one morning, and it just all fucking clicked to me, like the whole Billboard charts, like Britney Spears, fucking Rascal Flatts. All those fucking people came from a talent agency.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys, and
Yeah.
they're the ones that had that
Star
big
Search.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
they
that
were all
big
on
fucking Mouser size or whatever,
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey Mouse Club.
You know, they
Oh,
come
yeah.
from talent, and they're like, oh, we're gonna make you a star. So they develop these fucking artists, if you will. I mean, I don't think Britney Spears is an artist. I think she was just had talent in some way, and then they just
And she
kind of
was hot,
forced her to
yeah.
do. She was marketable.
She was
Yeah.
great.
So
to look
that's
at,
what
yeah.
these bands and acts are becoming. That's exactly what the fucking Five Finger Death Punch is.
Yeah.
They're just a fucking rolling fucking monster ad.
Yeah.
And it's proven that energy drinks have enough money to fucking start their own fucking space programs.
Fucking Red Bull, baby.
A lot of people
So,
named Kyle.
Like, but it just, that's a part of in music that like bothers me is is just that part where it's taking the realness out of what rock and roll is
Yeah.
and leaving us with bands like In Flames that have
Yeah.
put in their fucking dues
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
over the years for them to open for a band that has not put in dues.
Right.
And I don't know the whole. I know fucking Ivan Moody came from Motograder,
Uh-huh.
so I'm not saying he hasn't put in his dues because that band, they've done stuff, but really, what the.
Politics, man.
Yeah, but it's also, there's artists out there that are simply in place for marketing purposes.
Right.
Yeah.
And where you're like, what made it click was, I was walking through the grocery store and I started, and this is when I was like eating super lean and healthy, and I still do kind of, but I was like really on my kick, and I just looked at this fucking huge bag of Hostess donuts. And it was like, buy this bag of donuts and you can win a whole family, like all expenses paid trip to go see Rascal Flatts and VIP. So it's like, they're using shit music to produce or to promote shit food.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like all that stuff. It's just radio garbage. And it's like CNN pumping shit into your fucking face or Fox or whatever. It's it's all the same thing, all the same formalities. And it's,
So I'm gonna guess Five Finger Death Punch is not your number 3. Then.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Neither's Disturbed.
Okay.
I can't. I heard them on the radio, fucking the other day.
Batman. What
Oh,
the fuck
God.
is that song?
I don't know.
Batman. It's a Batman.
That was
Is he
something I
saying
was just like.
Batman
That's
or
what I said.
Badman?
Batman.
Oh my
But yeah,
god.
fuck it. So Disturbed's definitely not. They're right up there, and just they're kind of like the residue at the bottom of the trash can
Right.
Oh, yeah.
that just gets stuck there.
This'll work.
for me. Man. So if I gotta pick a 3 and 4, oh man. Well, I guess we're gonna go with old Blue Eyes here. Because that's that was my grandpa.
I thought it was
my grandpa
Angus
was
Young.
always playing music. Like he was my dad, pretty much.
Yeah.
So and he grew up in New York
Uh-huh.
and moved to California when he was still in high school, on the back end of high school, I think. But I remember when I was a kid, like everything I did, I wanted I was like, want to do what Grandpa did. We had the same glasses.
Yeah.
Like I was a 7-year-old kid with fucking
Big
old man,
old-
fucking like I wanted bifocals.
Oh,
and they're like, dude, you don't need bifocals.
Yeah.
Like,
You're good.
but I was like, well, I want the Jeffrey Dahmer shades. My grandpa rocked a comb over, so I had to have
Yeah.
my part in the same thing.
That's right. That's right.
And he would he was funny, man. He like I didn't know him when he smoked cigarettes, but he was a partier. Like just kind of, if anybody knows my family, we fucking party pretty good. And he would wait until 5 o'clock when the news came on, and then he'd be behind his bar, fucking mixing up his dry martinis, fucking.
Yeah.
And then
Rat Pack,
after
baby.
the news was over and dinner was done, he'd get on the piano and just start playing Rat Pack songs.
Hell yeah.
And I remember I was at my single digit years. He passed away when I was 12 or 13, somewhere around there. But he would like Sinatra was always what I wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
And I still I don't listen to him all that much.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's prevalent.
But I still do. Like I really dig it when I'm like just chilling in the house, open up all the windows. It's like summertime music for me.
Yeah.
So open up all the windows, crank the tunes, and just let the air flow. And
Right.
you're not in a hustle to do housework,
Right,
but you're
right.
just like, oh, I'm gonna go. I might wash a fork,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna go. Make a pile of leaves, and I'll come back and wash a plate.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Just adds a nice calm
Yeah.
atmosphere to it.
Right.
And then, have you guys ever heard the Biggie and Frank Sinatra remixes? Fucking check them
have
the
to check
fuck
that out.
out. Yeah,
have
you
to
can
check
you
that
can
out.
find it on. It's on YouTube. Just type in Biggie Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
It'll pop up. And there's also Biggie and James Brown.
Oh, that
Oh,
would
really?
be really
yeah,
good.
they're both really
that'd be
fucking
interesting.
good. But just because they're both from New York, the
Yeah,
Sinatra
yeah.
and Biggie vibes are just
East
fucking.
Coast.
They're
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Okay. And then a hard 4 is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's always the 4th one.
I gotta go with Pantera.
Pantera.
Huh?
Yeah, that was just such a. I mean, I don't really listen to him a whole lot much anymore, but that was my shit in high school.
Yeah.
Come to find out, me and Phil and Somo have the same birthday.
Oh, shit.
And I was even in high school. I think that might have been like back end of like 8th grade. I was doing reports on Pantera. I got like a free reign, and I was like,
Really?
I'm gonna go figure out Pantera. And that's when I found out Mike Tyson, Phil and Somo, and Josh Leese have the same birthday.
No
Oh, yeah.
shit. Wow.
There's a couple other people out there too, but those are the ones that really stick. But yeah, I just really love Pantera, and I love Phil's like intimidating stage presence.
Yeah.
And there was
That
just
man
something
knew how to
about that.
command a crowd.
Yeah,
He knew how to
and
rock
that's-
that stage.
That's what really had me. Once I started seeing those Monsters of Rock videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And all that shit, I was like, man, watching him just stomp on stage,
Yeah.
like he was scary.
Yeah.
And that I guess that really does resonate into, I guess, what I'm trying to create
Yeah.
on stage with my my persona when I'm up there.
Yeah.
Not that I'm really trying anymore. It just I'm letting
Let it all out.
letting it all out as it should. I met this dude Edmund of the Mountains when we played in Mammoth one time. And this guy was a fucking trip. Nobody wanted to talk to this dude whatsoever because he was just fucking far out. Like he definitely was one of those people that didn't come back from one of those trips. And I sat and talked to him while everybody else was like, "Oh, we're going to the bar." And I'm like, "I'm gonna hang out and talk to this
Right,
dude
yeah,
for
this
a
guy's
little while."
interesting.
This dude's
And
brain.
he said something to me about playing with no shoes on, and I was like, "You're fucking." I was like, "Dude, I sing in a fucking metal band." Dude.
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm playing with my shoes on." He's like, "No, man. Like you gotta take your shoes off and feel the energy beneath your feet and let it come out through your vocals and through your hands."
Making your shrink.
And then like I mean, we had a moment, and like it really made me think a little bit. And that really changed like a part of me as well because it fucking worked.
Really?
Yeah, like, and I don't know if it was just the visual of energy coming through my feet and out of my mouth, and the fact that I've eaten a fair amount of LSD in my time too.
It all plays a part.
I understood where the dude was coming
This
from.
ground's sticky.
But yeah, so Pantera is number 4, and it, like, simply because I like Phil Anselmo's like stage presence like really captivated me, pulled me in, and then there's Dimebag,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Pivotal. In
that,
that
I mean, because this is, we're talking 94, 95 is when I started getting into that, and then, we're going in the death metal realm. My introduction was Morbid Angel. I got the Covenant in high school, and that was fun because I was in Long Beach, California then, my senior year of high school, and Dr. Dre's Chronic 2001 just came out.
I remember the day
so
that came out.
all the brothers wanted to listen to that in the weight room, and here I am trying to blast the Covenant, and the coaches loved it.
Yeah.
It was always on rotation between the Covenant and Pantera, the live album 101.
Oh shit.
And like, I never got in trouble for it. The part, eat pussy till your jaw breaks. Like,
Yeah, it was Pantera in our weight room in high school too.
and it was a good time. Like, all the kids on the football team started calling me Kill the Cat, because one of the black kids was like, "Yeah, you listen to that Kill the Cat music." So then whenever I like
never
had a
heard
big
that.
play, you would just hear someone Kill the Cat, and then the whole team would do it too.
Hell yeah.
Oh fuck, man. Well, it's been awesome having you back.
Yeah.
And I love having you on here. You got such great stories, and we love what you guys are doing. We want to keep promoting, whether you guys are Reno based or Tahoe based. We're all part of this community. And
Yeah,
that's-
and
what
that's
we love
the
about
biggest thing too, that like, I think people misdrew with me sometimes
Yeah.
is they think that I'm just out here trying to go for the shit for myself,
it. Yeah.
and I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, if I was doing this for my personal satisfaction, I would have stopped a long fucking
Right,
time
right.
ago, because my bank account would be a lot happier too.
Yeah.
But like, I've thought about this saying a lot. Music is my drug.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking real for some people,
It is
and it's
real.
been for me numerous times where like that drug has almost cost me my house, my fucking cars, like everything. Like, somehow I went and bought that fucking LP though. I'm bringing that LP home,
Yeah.
but I don't know how I'm paying for anything else.
Right.
But it's also
Same
that
thing with like doing shows
chemotherapy,
and
too.
stuff. But we started. I turned kind of killed Born Dead, and sat down with some of the local other talent
Yeah.
up in Tahoe, and we came up with 530 Presents.
Right.
And right now we're starting to really get traction in the mud of pulling the whole music community together.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not just metal, not just hip hop, not just punk rock, but real fucking music.
Yeah.
And I love all kinds of music, but at the same time, I also dislike a lot of music of the same genres. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because
Yeah.
there's so much music out there.
Exactly.
So, and all I want to do is just keep bringing good, rad music to town, and not just, I want to start working down here. And it's funny you bring it up. It's with all this shit that's gone on, I don't know how many venues really want to work with me all that much, because I had a national tour I was trying to get down here
Yeah.
just recent. It just confirmed with me today in Tahoe. But I was like, man, I want to do this in Reno, but I didn't even get replies on some of these venues that are around here right now. And that's kind of where I'm like, yo, fuck these venues.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into this to try and make a fucking dollar.
Right.
Like I said, if I was, I'd be out.
Right.
Like, I just want to see do my part to create some sort of, bring my knowledge, my experience of working with so many venues across California, Nevada,
Yeah. Bands.
and figuring out how to get people moving instead of playing just the same places on repeat.
Over and
Right.
Like, and this is what I'm like trying to teach these guys up there that are just starting to get new to this. It's not about playing, the same fucking venue every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's people that won't drive 15 minutes to go to this bar or to this venue that you're playing, but they'll go over here to this one.
Yeah.
And and I'm one of those people too. I'm kind of picky on places I like to go to, and I'm not. But at the same time, like, if there's a good show, it kind of really doesn't fucking matter where it's at.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go.
Yeah.
If it's exciting, then the squad's showing up.
Right.
I'm just I help have some sort of unity plan organization. You know, that's what I try to do way back then, but it's, you know, it's difficult because everybody
It's hard to get everybody.
just
to
starts
do it.
telling you you're doing it for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not, man. I'm fucking. I want to see us all grow together and, you know, get the fuck the bands.
Yeah.
Like we all know each other.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how to like work together and focus on making sure that one, the bar's fucking happy.
Yeah.
Because if the bar's happy, you did your fucking job by putting people in the
And
fucking
they'll have
room.
you back.
And then making sure that every single ticket holder has smiles on your face.
Right.
And when they leave that room, whether you made $1 or not, if everybody's smiling at the end of the night, you did your job.
Right.
You know, and ultimately, you also want to connect with at least one person that you've never connected with before. at the show.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you know, if I've seen
That
this town,
outreach.
I've seen this town, brand new band out of the gate, and the place is fucking packed to the gills. But then it fizzles the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know, there. You know, and I really just want to do my part to
Make that
get bands
go, yeah.
spinning circles. You know, whether you're on tour or what, like, I'm here to help.
Right.
Like, you know, and I'm also here to listen.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
if there's things that you want to do and got ideas, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because it takes a fucking village to build a fucking empire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and if we don't hop on that page, then, you know, it's just, we have so much potential here. This is a fucking metal town.
Yeah.
Right.
It has been for years,
Yep.
decades even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like it's just wild. I remember watching it, you know, back at the Oasis days.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Some of the
and
greatest.
that's why I think we talked about this a little bit. The
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
Like when it was violent as fuck, that's when
Yeah.
it was cracking.
Yeah.
Let's get shows violent again. Fuck it.
Yeah. Everybody.
Bring your bats.
And there's a fine line between being violent in a way that it's fun and a way where it's just straight up I'm out to kill people. And there is a fine line.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where it was
terrifying.
it was terrifying.
Yeah, and I got the shit kicked out of me
Yeah.
like 2 shows in a row, and then I broke my foot.
Right.
It was during fucking the show that I got the shit kicked out of me was Devil Driver and Bury Your Dead.
Yeah.
So you put hardcore and fucking long hairs together.
Right.
That was just a
gonna be
big battle.
clash.
But like, well, the reason why I got the shit kicked out of me is this kid. I just watched this like little kid, like high school, just just standing there, get dropped.
Yeah.
And then people were like, I had a squad attack him, so I just did the only thing I knew how to do, just dive right in and start swinging.
Right.
And I mean, I did all right. I mean, I left that whatever the fuck happened, I left there bloody, and it wasn't mine.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I was lumped the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like I had a big old, just gnarly fucking lump on my forehead, and that was a Sunday night. Monday, I went to work for my first time on a brand new fire engine, and my forehead was all black and blue and fucking just. I mean, dude, I look like Corky. Like, it wasn't. He's like, "What happened to you?" I'm like, "Oh, I went to a metal show last night." They're like,
Makes sense.
"You had fun?" Okay. Week later was In Flames and Nevermore, and I was running around in the pit, and a fight happened, and fucking ended up breaking my foot.
Yeah. God damn it.
I was out for the season, or for most of the season.
Yeah. I was like,
I was like, "Yep, fucking fire season's over for me now."
Kids, when you go to a show, stretch.
Yeah, especially when you're over 40. I think. But I usually just, I stand on the outside.
Yeah. Well, Josh, do you have anything you want to plug before we close this bad boy out?
No, man, I just stoked you guys had me back,
Fucking
and
A.
looking forward to hanging out another time because there's fucking a whole lot more we can talk
Right.
about.
Hell yeah,
Oh
baby.
yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks, Josh. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Well, again, we'll have to have you back. 'cause there's
Fucking
so
A.
much
I
more.
want to hang out here with Mark Moots and see where that conversation
Oh,
goes.
I know,
my
yeah.
God.
We got to get Mark back on here, too.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love talking to that dude.
Throw everybody in a bowl. And get 'em.
Yeah, I think that would be, or just put the. All right, you guys want to sit down and have a conversation that you guys don't like each other? Fucking, let's talk, friends.
See.
Oh, dude, yeah. Fuck
R.I.P.
Yeah.
But
All right.
otherwise, thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't yet, hit that like, subscribe. You know what to do. If you haven't yet, you better do it. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
I was like, maybe I could poof out of this too.